Today you are going to be doing a drawing inspired by Wassily Kandinsky. You're going to need a pencil, your Sharpie, a ruler or something to make a straight edge or two, and then you're going to need a piece of watercolor paper. This is going to be the drawing day for this assignment. And last time we did a small watercolor painting, testing out our watercolor pencils. So you want to get a piece of watercolor paper. It's the same kind of textury paper that will be sitting behind where you had those small sheets. They will be close together. So you're going to need a piece of that to get started today. All right, so there are going to be several requirements for this drawing. So you should be doing them along with me. The first thing is going to be you're going to pick a number. Pick a favorite number, a lucky number. It could be your birth date. Mine's the 13th, so it'll have two numbers. It could be your football number, your soccer number, whatever number you want to pick is fine. And you're going to do this. It's not going to sit in the middle. So I have my paper horizontally. It can go either horizontally or vertically. I'm just going to do mine this way because it fits better on the screen, but you can pick either. And so here's the thing. Excuse me. Your number will not be in the middle. It'll be off center, and it can be off center left or right, and it can be top or bottom, but not down the center path. So in one of these sections, and I'm going to put mine here. And look how big I'm going to make mine. Okay, so there's my number. Now, I'm going to now trace around that and make it into a block style number. So I'm going to go around this, tracing. And then I'm going to do the same thing on my 3. I'm going to trace around it on both sides to make a large block style number. And then I'm going to go through and erase away the stick number that's inside. So the first thing we're going to start with is your lucky number or your favorite number. You can put that on there. And it's going to be really the only identifiable sort of thing on here. The next thing I want you to do is I want you to put on a set of circles. And you're going to do like a decent sized circle. And we're going to freehand this. If you are somebody who wants to go get objects to trace a perfect circle, you can, but I'm going to freehand mine, and you're going to do a stack. They can either be concentric, where they are stacked right within themselves, or they could be off-centered. So an off-centered stack would look like some scrap paper. An off-centered stack would look like this, where it might go there, and then there and there. So where you have them off-centered, they're not sitting directly inside each other. Okay, so you're going to do a stack of circles, and then you're going to add 2 more circles, free floating. So I'm going to do one here, and they should be different sizes. And I'm going to do a small one here. Okay. Next, you're going to put on 2 triangles. So I'm going to do a large triangle here, and I'm going to let this overlap. Okay, and I want it to be on an angle. I don't want anything to be sitting like straight up and down. I want these to be angled, and I'm going to put another free floating one over here. All right, so 2 triangles. Then we're going to put on some free-form shapes, and you're going to put on at least 2. So free-form shape is something that has like a squiggly edge, but it does meet back to the beginning. So it could have all curved edges, or it could have curved edges and then some that are jagged and curved. I'm going to leave that up to you, but I'm going to put on a free-form shape here that's going to overlap several things. And then I'm going to do a free-floating, free-form shape up in this corner. And I'm going to let this one have some jagged edges and sides. Okay, so you have 2 free-form, 2 triangles, stack of circles, 2 free-floating circles. All right, now we're going to put on our lines. You're going to have 1 line that must make it from an edge to an edge, okay, a straight line. And it shouldn't be totally vertical or totally angled. We're going to put it at an angle. So no perfect horizontal, no perfect vertical. So it should be slanting, but getting from one edge to the other. And you can do it going the long edge. I just find with the ruler that's this length, it's easier to run it this way. So one straight line. You're going to do one flowing line or curved line, and that one should go like where it's going to cross over. If I'm going to do the other edges, so I'm going to do mine here where it's going to go like this. It's going to flow up, down, up, down. So there's a flowing line. You're going to do a zigzag line, and it can just come in anywhere and go out anywhere. But I'm going to try in this. I'm trying to like break up where I have spaces. And the last line that you have to put on here is I'm going to do a freeform line, and the freeform line has to come in from an edge, and I'm going to do mine up here, and then it's got to go back out. And it can go out on the same edge, or it can go out on a cornered edge. So I brought mine in and then took it back out. So it has to actually make an exit. Now, at this point, I have broken up most of my image. If you want to, like if you have an empty spot and you want to add another shape or two, you can. Or you can add another line if it makes sense to add a line. Like I'm going to add another line here, like it's radiating from this one point. I'm going to add a line pulling across here. Oops, need a little more pencil lead there. So I'm going to do a line here, and I'm going to do one more line connecting here. That'll break up that space a little bit. And then I have kind of a big spot here that I don't like. I'm going to put one more triangle up here. So I'm going to break this up here. I'm going to put another triangle here. And my numbers are kind of left alone. I want to interrupt them. I'm going to put a zigzag that's on like a curve. So I'm going to zigzag, 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 zigzag right there. That'll break up my numbers. That's it. Now, I'm going to trace over these lines. So I'm using my ruler where I'm doing straight lines, and I'm going to trace over my lines. I'm going to do these first because I think these are just the harder ones. And if I miss, I'm not going to thicken the line. I'm not going to overly do it. I'm just going to go with what I got. And then you're going to trace over the rest of your pencil lines. And if you miss a little bit, don't worry about it. Just keep going. Don't go back and make a line really thick. Like, oops, I just missed my edge of my triangle. I'm just going to adapt it and make sure that I make ends that meet. And what I'm going to do is when later I'm going to erase away all this pencil. I'll just get rid of the pencil line. And nobody's going to know I missed but me. So I'm tracing. And sometimes it's easier to move your paper so you can see what you're tracing. So if you have to like turn your paper to see something better, go ahead and do that. You're going to trace all of your lines and shapes. And then once you get everything traced, you are going to get an eraser and erase. So I need to pull this in a circle. Okay, then I'm going to erase, and you can use either your kneaded eraser, that's your one that looks like clay, or you can use your magic rub. You have a vinyl eraser, it's a little bit smaller than this, and you're going to erase away all of those pencil lines. And then once you've erased away all the pencil lines, you are going to take a photograph and submit into the assignment. And that is it. That has to be done for the first day. Next time we're going to talk about adding color and then adding the water and painting. And that is it. So when you get to this point, you will submit and call it a day.